With Michigan State on vault, Nia Smith, Lauren Shue, Skylar Schulte, Sage Kellerman, Nikki Smith, Gabby Stephen, and Katie Sawyer is the exhibition. Bowling Green will be on bars to start. Dalia Soros Cruz, Taylor Jensen, Lexi Bornhorn, Megan Bingham, Catherine Welbacher, we just talked about her, Isabella Ravelli, and Madison Coburn to round it out. And then for Bean, for LIU is where they're going to start. That would be Bexer, Filoni, Doughton, Taylor So, Morris, and Juck are the starting lineup for each squad in their first rotation.
Lots of amazing gymnastics here today.
Let's get a look at Nia Smith, who's really been good this season and trying to start off with the Spartan strong on vault.
Yeah, this first routine is really important no matter what event you are starting on, whether it be vault, bars, beam, or floor. Getting the ball rolling in the right direction, this first gymnast is super key. Starting out here, she will do a Yurchenko full. And a stick to start out the meet here for Nia Smith and the Spartans. A great way to get the ball rolling for this Michigan State team starting on the vault.
It's exactly the start that they needed. Now we got Lauren Shue coming up next, but just talking about this Michigan State team, especially in the vault, Gabby Stephen, we talked about how good she's been, had that 9.95 last time out. A couple other really good gymnasts as well. Skylar Schulte, she came on the scene last year and has really continued to crank that up. And for Michigan State, Coach Rowe has been very adamant about the squad creating their own identity. Yes, last year was awesome, but this year they want to stay hungry. They want to win the Big Ten tournament, and they want to keep on going. They already accomplished their first goal of being Big Ten regular season champs, and now they want to chase it into the postseason.
Yeah, for sure, and they definitely have the talent to do so. They are so deep as a team. Like you said earlier, they are resting some of their top gymnasts on some events just to give their bodies a little bit of a rest before they head into that Big Ten tournament. But they still have girls to put out there on every single event that can score well and that are consistent. They have so many girls on every single event that can go out there and perform as a great Michigan State Spartan.
Now we get a look at Lauren Shue. She gets ready to go, 5'3", sophomore from Austin, Texas.
Another one of those Yurchenko falls. Just a slight hop back on that landing. The judges will take about a 10th off for both of those feet moving. But otherwise, a great block off the table, great body position, great form in the air. As we take a look at that one more time. See that block off the table. The judges are looking for how high you can get up off of that vault table. And then obviously, you want that college stick and that college finish. Great vault there for Lauren Shue.
Coming up next, we just talked about her, but Skylar Schulte for Michigan State, sophomore, 5'2", from Bolingbrook, Illinois. Let's get a look at Bowling Green on bars. Michigan State here today is celebrating their annual Jan Howard Breast Cancer Awareness Meet. You can see the pink all over the crowd, as it is in memory of Jan Howard, mother of alumni gymnast and current director's services, Angela Monti.
And there's Skylar Schulte in that pink leotard right there. A great, great vault there. She just sticks that vault week after week. She makes it look so easy. She really has great body awareness in the air so that she can find that stick every single time. Like you mentioned, Gabby Stephen had that perfect 9.95 the other day at their meet. Skylar Schulte definitely has the capability to grab that perfect score there as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, kind of answered my question right there, but who in this vault rotation has the potential to do that for Michigan State and go perfect?
Honestly, every single one of them has the capability to score perfect on this event. The thing with vault is that some of these girls in this lineup do not start at a 10.0 start value. Those start values come from the difficulty of each routine and of each skill. what you've seen so far, those Yurchenko fulls, those are what start at that 9.95 start value. So technically, if you score a 9.95, you are perfect, but it is not that perfect 10 that you see with those more difficult vaults. You'll see a couple of those 10.0 start value vaults in the Michigan State lineup and with the other two schools as well.
Bowling Green coming off an 8.95. Let's get a look at Michigan State.
That was Sage Kellerman right there. That is one of those 10.0 vaults that I was just talking about. She does a front handspring onto the vault, a pike off, and then ends it with a half turn. Very difficult. That's why she has that earned that 10.0 start value. Take a look at it here again. Blocking off that table and ending with that half turn in that open layout position. Just that small hop back. Very controlled landing though.
And once again, another freshman for Michigan State from Croswell, Michigan. The freshmen have really been the story as well for the Spartans this season.
For sure, yeah. All of the underclassmen are outstanding. Coming from high school gymnastics into college gymnastics is definitely a big transition. So like we mentioned earlier, it's not too common to see freshmen and sophomore competing in the all-around, but throughout these teams today, you'll see a couple freshmen on all four events, which is really outstanding. See that dismount there from LIU, a round off 1.5, just a small hop, little bit of a step. Judges are looking for those perfectly stuck landings. Looks like they have glue on their feet.
Now here's Nikki Smith, 5'1" freshman from West Bloomfield, Michigan.
Wow. Wow. That was a flawless vault right there. Perfectly stuck. Another one of those 10.0 start values. We'll see what the judges have to take off, if they have anything to take off on that. That looked pretty outstanding to me. See that block off the table. Great height. Legs are glued together in the air. Perfectly stuck. No movement in that feet.
You can see Nicole Jones, the associate head coach, saying 10, 10, 10.
And I think by the looks of it, she might have gotten that perfect 10.0 right there. That was a long time coming.
We were talking about chasing perfection once again. Michigan State does it on vault. This time it's Nikki Smith.
Technically, that vault has nothing wrong with it. She does everything technically right. Perfection there for Nikki Smith. A 10.0 on vault for the Spartans.
It's just incredible. Just the way to see this program. They're just getting even closer to all-around perfection. You see the start from last year, the build-up from the COVID year, only having a couple meets, and now just where they're at as a program. You see Nikki Smith's birth at 10 after Gabby Stevens last week. It's been impressive.
Yeah, super, super impressive. It really helps that they have all of these meets throughout the season for that practice. Here's Gabby Stevens. Let's see if she can get another one of those perfect scores right here. Oh, just a super tiny hop back. Not a perfect stick like she had last weekend, but still, you can't really complain about that vault. It's still pretty flawless.
Yeah, once again, really got to credit Nicole Jones and what she's done with this squad on vaults. She's really taken them under her arms, and you can just see another great performance once again by Steven.
Definitely, and if you've watched them throughout this season, they definitely have improved on this event in enormous ways, especially on those landings. That is just a huge vault right there. She gets so much amplitude off of that table. She has so much time to spot that landing. That's why she's so good at sticking that vault.
Now the exhibition will go for Michigan State. That's Katie Sawyer. We'll look at LIU on beam.
Back handspring layout step out right there. A slight bobble. She was a little bit unsure on that landing. Beam is all about having confidence up there. Cat leap into a side aerial. Great landing there. See, she looked pretty confident on that one. Tri meets are a little bit different than normal dual meets, as There's a lot of action going on at the same time. As you can see, we flipped over to the bars with Bowling Green State here. Finishing off her routine here, a double layout. Great landing, chest was up. Solid routine there for Bowling Green State. And then there's the end of that beam routine. Like I said, tri-meets, there's a lot of gymnastics going back and forth.
Just to say some of the great things that Michigan State has done on vault individually this season. Gabby Stephen on March 3rd, she had a perfect 9.95. We'll step aside real quick. We'll talk about those accolades coming up here on Big Ten Plus.
Paparazzi catch my fly and my cotton fresh. I'm so reckless when I rock my Givenchy dress. I'm so possessive, so I love his rock necklaces. My daddy Alabama, mama Louisiana. You mix that Alabama with that Creole, make the Texas Bama. I say, okay, ladies, now let's get into motion. You know you damn chicken because all this conversation. Always stay gracious, best revenge is your paper. Good, I ain't gotta worry about you. Money good, from the north still good. I ain't have to see nobody hit, but I could. Before I post a pic, should I text? Yeah, I should. I ain't gotta worry about it. Money good. Ride with some killers and they wish it was good. I don't wanna argue about it, baby, I ain't good. If she got a bad, let her in, if she good. I don't gotta worry about it. Hate all money good. Right. Never let her say, chase a hang with a flick. Getting caught, trying to get rich. Better hide your rocket when I'm involved in the mix. Yeah, can't deny I'm the star. Tell about my ball. I ain't even got the compliments, love how I talk. I'm embracing the fake, I'm accepting the hate. If I wasn't number one, they wouldn't come to my place. Yeah, it's good. They walk around front, let them know I'm still good. I ain't got to get nobody hit, but I could. Before I post a pic, should I flex? Yeah, I should. I ain't got to worry about money good. Ride with some good, and they wish it was good. I don't wanna argue about it, baby, I ain't good. If she got a band, let her in, yeah, she good. I ain't got to worry about money good. Let them know I'm still good. I ain't got to see nobody hit, but I could. Before I post a pic, should I flex? Yeah, I should. I ain't got to worry about man, I know some good. Hey, I'm a rubber band, put that money in their face. I be out here grinding like a boy. Hey, you ain't bringing nothing to the table but your plate. I'm out here ballin' like a motherfucker, babe. I think I can put you in it, money to be paid. I'm trying to get my pockets 99 with the fake. Niggas being real, you ain't worried about his fake. Money good. So I found crumbs, let them know I'm still good. I ain't gonna get nobody hit, but I could. Before I post a pic, should I flex? Yeah, I should. I ain't gotta worry about money good. Ride with some hitters and they wish it was good. I don't wanna argue about it, baby, I ain't good. If she got a band, let her in, if she good. I ain't gotta worry about money good. So I found crumbs, let them know I'm still good. I ain't got to see nobody hit, but I could. Before I post a pic, should I flex? Yeah, I should. I ain't gotta worry about money good. Long, money long too. Get a bag in it, make it bag time too. I can never let nobody tell me what to do. If I get the chicken, let me throw that boy to use. So I'm in a Rolls Royce, feeling like a show. Flick full of bad friends with a couple toes. Friends who finna let your baby daddy know. He in love with me, let me know he telling no. Money good, throw up on the front, let them know I'm still good. I ain't had to get nobody hit, but I could. Before I post a pic, should I flex? Yeah, I should. I ain't gotta worry about money good. Ride with some hitters and they wish it was good. I don't wanna argue about it, baby, I ain't good. If she got a band, let her in, yeah, she good. I ain't gotta worry about money good. So I found crumbs, let them know I'm still good. I ain't got to see nobody hit, but I could. Before I post a pic, should I flex? Yeah, I should. I ain't gotta worry about
That completes the first rotation. Gymnasts, you have 2 minutes to proceed to your next event. Bowling Green's on the beam, Long Island University on the floor, Michigan State is on the bar. With 6 Spartans gymnasts earning a score of 9.8 or higher. On the vault, lucky Michigan State fans will receive a t-shirt. Get on your feet, make some noise. Spartan fans, be sure to visit the Pacific 10.0 booth. Located in the southeast corner, is your official Spartan Gymnastics merchandise.
Regular guy.
Now begin your 4-minute stretch warm-up period. The Michigan State Spartans and their corporate partner, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Buick, McLaren Healthcare, Fire, Pepsi, Rocket Mortgage, and State Farm. Spartan fans, it's time for the gymnastics shuffle.
Welcome back to Jensen Fieldhouse as LIU 49 straight across, 48.85 to Bowling Green, and then Michigan State a 49.575. That is the best ever score for Michigan State on vault for team-wise, and that's a big reason Nikki Smith was able to get a perfect 10-0. The first time since 2008 Michigan State has had an individual perfect 10 across the board for Nikki Smith.
This vault is absolutely flawless, and the judges thought so too. That perfect block off the table, 1.5 twist in the laid out position, glued feet on that landing.
And you pretty much knew it right away as well.
For sure. That vault has been on 10.0 watch since the first time she competed that as a freshman this year. It's just absolutely outstanding, the consistency that she has on that extremely challenging vault.
And Smith has really just burst onto the scene just from her first ever meet here at Michigan State to now. She has continued to keep getting better and better, somehow figuring it out. Just the third 10-0 for Michigan State in their program history. And then, of course, you had Nikki Smith earlier this year have a 9.95 against Michigan. Also a Big Five, she got a 9.95. Gabby Stephen had a 9.95 at Eastern Michigan on Friday. So for Michigan State, they've been getting some really good scores of recent.
For sure. And keep in mind, I would like to draw attention to the fact, again, that she is only a freshman.
Yeah.
This is not her perfect 10. She has a lot more perfect 10 routines on any event. She's going to get those sometime throughout her career here as a Spartan. Just so much potential.
As Michigan State shifts over to bars, Skylar Schulte will lead off the Spartans.
From one 10.0 watch to the next. Got a 10.0 on this routine from one judge. in previous meets. In that shapash, her grips just came a little bit off of the bar. She wasn't able to re-grab and head into that transition back down to the low bar. Ultimately, she just decided to come off the bar, regroup herself, get some more chalk on those grips. That's a really difficult release move. It's really important how you re-grab that high bar, especially if you're doing a skill right after like Skyla does. Get a look at that. She just grabbed a little bit funky. Those grips are designed to allow you to have a perfect grip. It kind of elongates your fingers in a way. She'll retry that skill again. Hitting that handstand. That shapash release move. Much better that time. Back down to the low bar. And that shoot over. Gymnastics is so much a mental sport. When you fall like that, you have to get back up, regroup yourself, and finish your routine. Double layout, huge. Just a little bit of a hop back. She's definitely a little bit disappointed with that bar routine. Not the routine that she had last week, and definitely not the routine they wanted to start out with on bars. Here's that dismount one more time, a double layout. So consistent for her. Teensy bit hop back, just a little movement in those toes.
And talk about the transition for Michigan State going from vault to bars and how you have to adapt as a team.
Yeah, especially after getting the scores that they got on floor, there's a lot of hype and energy, and you really have to honestly take that energy down a little bit. Regroup yourself, just compose yourself before you get back up on the next apparatus. All the events are so different, so you really have to switch your energy and your mindset going from event to event. Beautiful routine there, a front full to finish it off there for Bowling Green State.
Yeah, and that's Emily Castiglia leading it off for Bowling Green on balance beam. Get another look.
Front full dismount, pretty difficult dismount since there really isn't much springiness on that end of that beam, unlike the floor and the vault. Have a lot of momentum, just create it from yourself versus that springy floor.
Gabby Stephen gets ready to go for Michigan State, the sophomore.
Once again, this is another 10.0 watch routine. Just absolutely outstanding gymnastics from all of these gymnasts. She has a very similar routine to Skyla. She'll do a toe hand right into that shapash release move up to the high bar. Nice, hitting those handstands. Shoot over down to the low bar. She'll finish it up with a full twisting double back dismount. Gearing up here. Pretty solid landing there. Again, just a little bit of a hop back. But that's the type of routine you need after a fall like that.
Gabby, last time Michigan State was here, scored a 39.575 on the individual all-around. Get another look at her routine.
Just a reminder that in NCAA gymnastics, 6 gymnasts go on each event, but only 5 scores count. So that dropping of the score gives each team the ability to have one mistake, one routine that may not be something that you want towards your team score, and you get to drop it. So ultimately, Michigan State will want to drop that routine from Skyla Schulte. They got to hit 5 solid routines after that, though.
Yeah, Schulte scored a 9.125 to lead off for Michigan State. Get a look at Elise Braska for Bowling Green.
The transition from each event for the other teams too after that huge 10.0 routine is definitely difficult as well, especially if you were on an event during that flashing of the score. This place got super loud.
Here's Sage Kellerman as Gabby Stevens scores the 9.8.
Jaeger release move there in the straddle position. Beautiful shoot over right there, really highlighting that handstand. Just the dismount left for Sage. She'll do a blind full into a double tuck dismount. Just a little bit of a hop back. They aren't grabbing those perfectly stuck dismounts, but again, they're getting that ball rolling in the right direction after that fall from Skyla Schulte. Great routine from Sage Kellerman.
Oh, look at this one right here.
That straddle Jaeger right there. Great height, grabbing that high bar. All gymnasts must have that major release move. A major release move is where you completely let go of the bar, do one rotation or run twist, and then have to re-grab the bar. That's probably the most difficult skill in every single person's bar routine.
For Michigan State, this is head coach's Mike Rowe's event, and he's been really stressing sticking those lands on bars.
Yeah, for sure. If they had a weakness, which they don't really, but it probably would be the bars. They are ranked 22nd in the nation, which is their highest ranking. Bars is all about details and hitting those handstands, so I know Coach Mike Rowe really stresses that in the gym. It's really difficult to transition from practice to competition. It's really hard to go all out without any fear in competition versus in practice.
Here's Jory Jackard.
Jory will start out with that Jaeger release move as well. Re-grabbing that high bar, beautiful. She has had some struggles with that in the past, but that was gorgeous right there. Back up to the high bar, just her dismount left. She'll do a blind full into a double tuck. Beautiful handstand there. And a stuck dismount. Definitely trending in the right direction there. Great routine from Jory Jackard. The team loves it.
Solid performance right there. Jory's career high on bars is a 9.925.
Gorgeous straddle Jaeger right there. As you can see, that is where she completely lets go of the bar and has to re-grab it. You have to really look for that bar to make sure that your hands and your grips are in the perfect position to start swinging right after you re-grab it. And then that perfect stuck dismount.
It looks like
Oh man. Another one?
It looks like there might be another 10. One judge has given her 110. I can't see the other one.
This place is going crazy.
Yeah.
There's no way.
On the day that Michigan State celebrates being Co-Big Ten Championship champions for the first time in program history, already a perfect 10 on vault. And now still waiting the official word. And yes, Jory Jackard got a 10 on bars. Perfection. It's the first ever 10 on bars for Michigan State in program history. So they're breaking records. Coach Rowe's squad has really just come out of the gate swinging.
I literally have the chills. This is outstanding. Like I said, literally all of these gymnasts have the potential to score a 10.0. Obviously, we've been highlighting freshman Nikki Smith, Gabby Stevens, Skyla Schulte. We didn't even mention Jory Jackard, and then there she goes and just gets a 10.
Yeah, and now you got perfection as well with Nikki Smith coming up on bars.
She's just gorgeous on this event. Shapash up to the high bar. Pack salto down to the low bar. Beautiful pirouette. Just the dismount left. Let's see if she can get this stuck dismount, and this could be another huge score. Gearing up here, double layout, and a stuck landing. This is outstanding. I really don't know what the judges could take off of that routine.
On Friday, Nikki Smith had a 9.975 at Eastern Michigan. Could she get a 10 right here?
I don't see anything wrong with that routine.
It's a wait the reaction. Another look at it.
Here's that shapash to the high bar, back down to the low bar, that pack salto. This team is awaiting the judges' scores here.
You just see them looking at it. Still waiting for that score to flip.
That double layout there, stuck. Just absolutely outstanding. Hugs all around. Oh, my heart is racing. I can't even imagine what they're feeling right now.
The suspense of waiting for this score. Ooh, a 9.95 from one judge. Can't see the other one, but a really good performance nonetheless from Nikki Smith, and especially after the slip up from Skylar Schulte to start. Michigan State has really followed up in a big way with Gabby Stephen at the 9.8, and then Sage Kellerman really solid as well, and then Jory Jackard perfection with the 10.
For sure. It's kind of funny how the crowd goes quiet even for a huge score like 9.95 because they're used to getting those 10s apparently after the first two rotations. Still an outstanding bar routine there from Nikki Smith.
Here's Delaney Harkness.
It's really interesting to see the different judges and how they judge routines, because that routine looked pretty similar to the routine that she did last weekend, or this past Friday. She did get a 9.975, a 10 from one judge and a 9.95 from the other. Delaney Harkness here. She's got another gorgeous routine. Starting out here with that Ginger release move, re-grabbing the bar. Beautiful handstands. Shoot over. Just the dismount left. She'll do a full twisting double back like her teammates. And another stuck landing.
Well, the stuck landing just keep getting better and better for Michigan State. As this event continues, they've really upped the ante. Another look.
That Ginger release move, she gets amazing height through that. And that full twisting double back dismount. I think the only thing the judges could take off for is those feet on the landing. They weren't perfectly next to each other. She did have to shuffle just a little bit to get those feet together. But again, we're watching in slow motion, so sometimes the judges don't catch those little things that we get to see with that view.
But nonetheless, you see the identity of this team. Schulte had a 9.125 to start, and then just progressively getting better and backing up their teammates in a big way and just sticking their landings. It was a massive just event for Michigan State to be able to come back from that.
For sure, and that is what NCAA gymnastics is all about. You really don't have that much in club gymnastics. Club gymnastics is pretty much an individual sport. You're really focused on getting recruited and having your own personal best meets. It's not really about the team in a way. So transitioning to college gymnastics is definitely difficult, but it's also nice to have these gymnasts back. Like Skylar Schulte, her teammates were able to come back and provide great routines for their team score. And although she's probably upset with herself, she can be happy for her team that they had her back.
And expanding on that point, a big thing that Coach Rowe has stressed for this year because of those seniors that they lost, like Leah Mitchell last season, finding those leaders for this season has been massive. They did a captain camp sort of, where they did a bunch of exercises with their teammates, and eventually they were able to find those leaders. One of those leaders was Gabby Stephen, as well as some of the seniors on the squad for Michigan State, and that's been a big emphasis. You talked about how college gymnastics, is about coming together as a team. That starts with the leadership, and that's a big identity for the squad.
For sure, and especially having leaders as underclassmen is huge. Gabby Stephen and Skyla Schulte and even Nikki Smith, they're going to grow. They're already great leaders, but they're going to get even better throughout their 4 years at Michigan State. Here's Lauren Shue. She had a couple bobbles before the camera was on her, but she was able to regroup and start this routine over. Double layout right there. That was an exhibition position there, so the score did not count, but it's really important for gymnasts to get those practice routines in before getting in the solidified lineup.
So what have I told you? Michigan State on bars who finished with a 49.50, excuse me, after their first gymnast goes at 9.125, which is good enough for a program record after just at Eastern Michigan on Friday, topping that to a 49.525. They top it once again. So to start this meet, they have scored a program record on vault and a program record on bars.
Just absolutely outstanding. It's really just so cool to see Michigan State get better and better every single meet. They break a record, and then you think they're going to be done, and then they show up the next meet, and they break it again, and they break it again.
Yeah.
And they just have so much potential. It's you don't even know what you're going to get from them every day. It's just amazing gymnastics.
But, like, how do you keep on getting better? That's the one thing, and this team's identity is to keep on chasing greatness because somehow they keep on topping it.
Yeah, for sure. Gymnastics is all about little tiny details. So the only way to get better on every single event is to grab those 10th scores back. Grab that toe point, grab that foot flex, grab that feet apart from each other on the landing back, and that's how you get those scores up. They really are just showing up and doing their routines like they know how to do, but then when they go into the gym, they're going to be working on those details, and that's the only way that they can get better. As long as they're hitting their routines like they have been, there's not much else you can do besides focus on those details.
I think something that's really impressive as well, March 7th of 2004, Michigan State scored a 197.075, which stood for the team overall record for just about 18 years. And now that's the 11th best team overall score. Whether it's 2022 or 2023, these past two teams for Michigan State have continued just to keep on topping their record, and they keep on getting better and better. You got to wonder if they're going to do it again today.
Yeah, I mean, it's just outstanding how they keep breaking records and they keep getting better because, like I said, it's so hard to get better at gymnastics. Once you have your skills down and you've been doing them for so many years like these girls have, it's really hard to change the way that you do them. So it's really just getting in the gym and getting that consistency down, and that's the only way you can get better. But this team is so young. There's so many stars as freshmen and as sophomores. So it's hard to imagine that they aren't even going to get better than this in years to come.
And the big emphasis as well onto that has been recruiting for Coach Rowe. You see these freshmen coming in, making an impact, as well as the sophomores. This is a young team. They're only going to keep on getting better. And the fact that senior day is just about a week away, Coach Rowe said that 2 of the 3 seniors might be coming back as well. So that, on top of what they're doing right now, is the fact that they might have pretty much the same team going to next season.
Yeah, definitely. And they've put on a show this season. People are following Michigan State on all social media. They're getting hyped up about them. Nikki Smith just got a 10.0 on floor, and people are raging about it on social media. They're getting attention. People want to be here, and that's only going to help their recruiting.
Yeah, it really has. And gymnastics, just in general for Michigan State, like you said, has been thrust into that spotlight after last season bursting on the scene. And now all eyes are on East Lansing. It really
definitely. And they used to be kind of a surprise team, especially last year. It was like, wow, Michigan State, what a crazy story, what an awesome story. Like, they broke the record, and now it's just expected. They just keep doing it week after week, and they just keep getting better. And they're going to start becoming one of those top-named teams in the country.
Yeah, and the fact that the school down the road in Michigan, it's obviously a big rivalry between the two programs, but they've been at the top for a long time, and now Michigan State was able to beat them for the first time in a long time earlier this year, and just the fact that they were able to do that just shows the confidence of just recruiting in the state as well. A lot of these freshmen for MSU have come from the state of Michigan as well.
Yeah, definitely. Getting these hometown girls is so awesome, too. Their families get to come. Just brings even more energy to this team.
As it appears, Bowling Green is starting to wrap it up on beam. Dolly had a 9.75 earlier, as well as Castiglia had a 9.825.
in gymnastics. The top conference usually is the SEC.
Yep.
Lots of attention on the SEC. But between Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, Iowa, all of the Big Ten gymnastics teams have great teams this season, and they've really begun to make a name for themselves.
And what would you say the Big Ten needs to do to be able to try to catch up to the SEC?
Definitely just show up at nationals. They want to get those qualifying scores and get those good seedings so that they can go up against these girls from the SEC and just be able to compare themselves, because obviously, as you saw here today, all of these gymnasts are capable of getting those perfect 10.0s, and there's a lot of opinions about scoring in the SEC versus the Big Ten. So we need to get these Big Ten schools at meets with the SEC, and then they can go head on head with those judges.
Yeah, and also a point as well, you got Oklahoma joining the SEC coming up very soon, so that's one of the most elite programs in gymnastics at the moment. It has been for a while, so that's also something to watch out for.
Not to mention UCLA joining the Big Ten.
Yeah. So just about each program, each conference is loading up with some really good programs as well.
Yeah, gymnastics is definitely growing too. There's a lot of young girls that are beginning to ask their parents to put them in gymnastics, especially after the Olympics, and seeing Jordan Childs and Simone Biles in the Olympics. And a lot of those Olympians tend to go to college gymnastics afterwards, and if you idolize those Olympians and then you see them in college, it just grows the sport even more, especially for the young girls.
All right, that wraps up rotation number 2 as we're going to step aside. Michigan State, though, once again, a phenomenal start to this one. Nikki Smith with a 10, as well as Jory Jackert on bars. You're watching gymnastics on Big Ten Plus.
Second rotation gymnast. You have 2 minutes to proceed to your next event. Bowling Green is on the floor. Long Island University on the vault. Michigan State is on the beam.
Talk 32.
I have your 2 minutes here. Spartan gymnasts earning a score of 9.8 or higher on the vault. Lucky Michigan State fans will receive a t-shirt. Get on your feet, make some noise, earn that t-shirt. Seconds. You may now begin your 4-minute touch warm-up period. Fans, please direct your attention to the video board to recognize breast cancer warrior Denitra Arnold.
it's not really. This is the beginning of a fight, but you can make it. You can make it. I found a lump in my breast, and maybe 2 days before Thanksgiving of 2019, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I mean, it was devastating. I just turned 40. I didn't even set up a mammogram yet. A big group of doctors, they all talked about my plan of care, basically step by step what's going to happen, and when we all were in there as a family, they said we're going to fight this thing together, and that's what we all did together. Day after Christmas, I started chemo. I was on chemo for about 6 months, and the plan after the chemo was to do surgery. I had a lumpectomy. I was, afraid I would be in a lot of pain, but RE was minimal. I was so happy, thanking God that He put the best team in my life to fight this. It meant everything. To know I wasn't fighting alone. And my director, they kept my job. That's their specialty team here. I got the best team in the AWS in the world. And like when I say team, from the hospital to family to church to work, yep, it was awesome. And God did it.
Michigan State Gymnastics is proud to bring the community together today to help raise awareness in hopes to support those whose lives have been affected by breast cancer. Progress has been made, but there is still a long way to go. Michigan State Gymnastics and Spartans everywhere aim to stand together in hopes of finding a cure. At this time, we invite all Spartan breast cancer warriors and co-warriors to stand, raise your signs, and be recognized for your courage and competitive spirit. Those who have battled the disease, lost a loved one, or those who are currently in their own personal battle, Sparrow Health System and Spartan Athletics thank you for doing your part to make a difference, to provide hope for the future. 30 seconds.
Welcome back to East Lansing, where Michigan State is off to a historic start here as MSU currently with a score of 99.125, Bowling Green with a 97.900, and LIU with a 97.925. If you missed it, Nikki Smith has had a 10 on vault, and Jory Jackard had a 10 on bars, breaking Melissa Green's record set on March 11th of 2000. Nikki Smith also had a 9.975 on Friday. So just a historic start for the Spartans once again. They're going to look to continue that into beam.
For sure, definitely have to channel those nerves, especially after that those exciting scores that they got on both of their first events. Beam is definitely a lot slower. Really need to focus to stay on this event.
And here's Gianna Khalifi to start for Michigan State.
Gianna has a beautiful routine. She'll start it out here with a triple series, which is super difficult. 3 acro skills in a row on the balance beam. Just for all those viewers out there that have never been on a balance beam, it is only 4 inches wide and it's made of wood. So these girls are extremely talented doing the skills that they are doing on this apparatus. Her leap connection there, a switch leap into a tuck full. A little bit of a different atmosphere when the home team is on the balance beam in a tri-meet. There's this dismount here. Cartwheel into a gainer full, a stuck dismount. Beautiful start for Michigan State on beam.
Yeah, really good start from Khalifi, the 5'4" junior from Santiago High School. Now look at her routine.
Here's that triple series right there. Again, only 4 inches wide, and she is able to do 3 skills connected right there and stay centered on that balance beam, and then ending it with that dismount and that Spartan stick.
And what is it like transitioning from bars to beam?
Bars and beam are very different. Beam, again, is very slow and controlled. You really have to take your time on every skill to make sure that you are centered on that beam before moving on to the next one. Really just have to take breaths and calm yourself down up there. Beam is definitely, well, personally, I think beam is definitely the scariest event, and I think a lot of gymnasts would agree with that. There's just the most chance for falls on the balance beam.
Here's the junior from Leslie, Michigan, Delaney Harkness.
So normally at a dual meet, the home team gymnasts are able to pick the song that they would like to be playing while they are on the balance beam. They tend to pick slower songs, but again, during this tri-meet, there's floor music going on, so you really, really have to focus on these routines and slow your breath down before you get up on that balance beam. Delaney had a 9.725 her last time on the beam this past Friday. She'll start it out here with a back handspring layout step out, her series. Very solid landing. She looked really confident finishing that series right there. All gymnasts are required to have that acro series there. They have to have 1 salto. A salto is a flip on the beam or on the floor where you do not touch your hands. For Delaney right here, it was that back handspring layout step out. Beam routines are a little bit less than a minute and a half long. Dismount there, just a slight hop. That was a pretty difficult dismount there. She did a cat leap into a side aerial and then ended it with a back 1.5 twist in the tuck position, almost sticking that landing. There's that series right there. And the dismount to finish it. Back 1.5 twist, tuck position. Little bit sideways, just had to take that slight hop.
And it was a good start for Michigan State on beam. Khalifi started with a 9.9. We'll have to wait and see what Harkness had.
Like we were talking about earlier, in ways that Michigan State can improve, it's these little things, those little hops on the dismounts, the little bobbles, the little unsureness on some of these skills on the balance beam. It's definitely where they can get some of those tenths back.
And when I talked to Coach Rowe earlier this week, he talked about last year how his team would really be, I guess, dreading going to beam, and they're like, oh no, we got to go do beam now. It was a huge Achilles heel for them, and they've really turned that into a strength, and they keep on getting better and better as well.
Yeah, for sure. Beam is definitely dreaded in a lot of gymnasts' mind. Like I said, it's pretty scary getting up there on that 4-inch piece of wood and doing flips that most people can't even do on the floor. But again, in college gymnastics, having your teammates and your coaches, the ability to talk to them before you compete definitely helps with calming your breath and being confident up there.
Here's freshman Nikki Smith at a 10 on vault and a 9.95 on bars.
Start out here with that series, back handspring layout, step out. Beautiful. There really aren't words to describe Nikki Smith's gymnastics. Switch leap into a straddle quarter, landing sideways on that balance beam. You see her team in the background. That team, including her sister, Nia Smith, who's a senior on this team. Sometimes it's scary just to watch your teammates, but I can't even imagine watching your sister up there. Ending it with a double back dismount. Fighting for that landing. She wanted it so bad. Sometimes gymnasts will salute the judges a little bit early just so they can try and play off their stick a little bit and make it look like they stuck it, but she was a little bit off on that landing.
Yeah. Nonetheless, really good all the way around as well. Harkness finished with a 9.9 as well for Michigan State.
Amazing scores. That is an extremely difficult dismount. A round off double back. Like I mentioned before, the beam has no spring. It is made out of wood. So she really is just using her calf muscles to excel her up into the air and getting 2 flips in there before she lands on the ground.
Skylar Schulte will go next for Michigan State. She had a 9.925 on vault, and then she did have the slip up on bars. But her teammates really recovered for her in a big way. You see Nicole Jones talking about that breathing.
Yeah. The balance beam really gets your heart racing, especially right before you're about to go, when you haven't done any skills on the balance beam yet. Sometimes it helps if gymnasts do easier skills at the beginning of the routine just to get their confidence up before they do those harder skills towards the end of those routines. It's super difficult to get back up on the next event after a fall. Just getting back in the right mindset, knowing your body can do it. Super difficult, but that's what these girls train for. That full turn right there, all gymnasts are required to have that full rotation there with that turn. Sometimes that can be the scariest skill on the balance beam because it's so simple. You've been doing it for so long. You really don't want to fall on that one. Beautiful leaps right there. She just switch leap into a switch half, finishing it with a flutter jump. Skyla's super flexible, showing off that flexibility right there. Sometimes some gymnasts actually take their floor dance moves and put them on the balance beam. Beautiful series, back handspring layout, step out. So far, so good. She's collected herself well after that fall on bars. Just the dismount, switch leap into a gainer full, and a stuck landing. That's the Skyla we're used to seeing right there. A beautiful beam routine, super confident. Recollected herself really well after bars.
Schulte has had a 9.95 on beam before. That was a career high. Now look at this one.
There's that flexibility right there. Don't see too many smiles on the balance beam too often, but Skyla smiles all the way throughout this routine.
And how important is it as a gymnast after the previous rotation, you had the fall, you messed up. How important is it to come back in a big way and just be focused and forget about that?
It's super important, and it's definitely difficult because, again, like I said, in club gymnastics, it's only you. So if you don't come back on the next event a better version than you were on the last event, the only person that's hurt is you. In NCAA gymnastics, if you don't come back better than you were on the last event, that your team is hurt. So it's super, super important that these girls train for this, and they train that every event is separate. If you fall on bars, you have to come back and you have to get up there on the beam and do what you know how to do for your team, not just yourself.
And once again, another shout out to Nicole Jones. She doesn't get enough love for what she's done for this program. You just saw her hyping up Skyla, like we talked about, making her forget about that, slowing down her breathing. Does a lot with these gymnasts, day in, day out, making sure that not the fact that they're mentally prepared and that they're also just ready to go in general.
For sure. And having trust in your coach is really important in a sport like gymnastics. You go to your coach for a lot of things, and if you don't trust them with what they're telling you to do, it can be definitely daunting and scary as a gymnast.
Here's Gabby Stephen.
Gabby's beautiful on this event. She'll do a front aerial here to 2 feet. She did struggle a little bit on that in warm-ups. Covered it up nicely, that little bobble there. Not many people do that in NCAA gymnastics. It's very difficult. You have to have a lot of leg power. Next up is her series right here. Back handspring layout, step out. Ooh, foot slipped just a little bit. Again, 4 inches is not that wide. If you are off in the slightest, you are coming off of that balance beam. And as you can see there, her foot was just a little bit off and it caused her to fall. That is a 5/10 deduction right there. Her team's gonna have to hit a couple solid routines after that one. Hopefully they can drop that score.
And they've already done it before as well on bars.
Definitely. Round off double full dismount, and she sticks it still. Definitely disappointed in that routine. Those details, that's what matters. And obviously you could tell her feet were just a little bit off. And it's literally centimeters, if that your foot just gets a little bit off and it slips and you're off the beam in seconds.
And you can clearly see how much chalk's on there as well to get that grip.
For sure. Some gymnasts are very particular about how much chalk they have on their hands and feet when going on the balance beam. Lots of superstitions in gymnastics, but having chalk on your hands and feet is really important on the balance beam. As you can see, she did slip, whether that was caused because of the lack of chalk on her feet or if she was just a little bit off. Everything's important.
Here's a look at Bailey Garcia. Just remember how good she was as a freshman, one of the only meets that was here at Michigan State, and just the up-and-coming kind of gymnast on the team. Now she's a junior, has really progressed, and here has a chance to prove it on beam.
Yeah, beam is definitely Bailey's event. She's so consistent. That's why she's in that anchor position, and she has been for 2 years now. This is definitely a scary position, but again, they trust her, putting her up in that anchor position. She had a 9.9 at the meet on Friday. She did struggle a little bit at the meet versus Illinois, the previous meet. But again, that 9.9 on Friday was a great comeback routine for Bailey. The moments before a beam routine are definitely not the most fun moments.
What do you think is going through her head right now?
She's definitely probably running through her routine, just telling herself that she can do it, trying not to think negative thoughts because, again, gymnastics is all mental. Gymnasts know that they can do it, they just have to think it, and then they will.
And how do you mentally prepare yourself for that?
definitely starts in practice. All of these gymnasts are put in these types of circumstances every day at practice, these high pressure situations. A full turn right there. She'll start out here with that back handspring layout step out that most of her teammates do, the series. Beautiful. So controlled and confident. She's really sharp with all of her dance moves, even though she's moving slowly. Front aerial there, into a split jump, absolutely gorgeous. Beam is all about lines, showing off your lines throughout your body, and Bailey does a great job of that. Switch leap into split jump, hitting those 180-degree leaps. So far, a very, very perfect routine. See how she can finish it off with the dismount. Taking her time here, back handspring into a gainer full, and a stuck landing. That was absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful routine from Bailey Garcia.
The 5'4" junior coming up big right there. She has gotten a 9.950 before in beam. We'll have to see if she tops it here.
Here's a look at that series one more time. Pretty common series, a back handspring, back layout, step out. Like I said, a lot of her teammates do the same series. And then that cartwheel, back handspring into that gainer, full dismount, and a stuck landing. As you can see, she had her feet a little bit apart on the landing, but as long as your feet are close enough to where when you salute, you can click your heels together, the judges do not take off for having your feet apart. That protects your ankles a little bit, because if you're landing with your feet fully together, you have the potential to kind of smack your ankles together, and that's definitely not a good feeling.
Yeah. Just to update the other scores on beam. Schulte finished with the 9.925. Nikki Smith also had the same score. As you get a look at the scores for Bailey Garcia. Nice round of applause for her there.
Got to be a pretty big score. They didn't go as wild for those 10s, but as you can see, I think it's a pretty high score there. And again, they continue to, even if they have mistakes in the beginning of the rotation, they come back and they hit their routines and they cover that mistake up, which is huge in college gymnastics.
Looks like 9.950 is what the score she'll get. So that will tie her career high.
Tori Loomis here as an exhibition spot. She did a press handstand there, which is extremely difficult. Starting out here, a front aerial into a pike jump, beautiful. It's really cool to see the different styles that each gymnast has on every apparatus. Some gymnasts tend to take it really slow on beam. So you see Bowling Green State here on the floor exercise with that 2.5. Definitely took a couple of steps forward on that. They'll get a pretty big deduction for that landing. Getting a look firsthand at some of that unique choreography. Really just shows the gymnast personalities.
Beers Bowling Green will finish with a 49.075 on floor.
Last pass there. Finishing it off here. Back 1.5 into a front layout. Great landing. Definitely wishes she could get that first landing back. Other two landings were pretty solid.
So Michigan State on vault set their program record, 49.575. On bars, they set a program record, 49.550. And then on beam, they scored a 49.6, which is .1 better for their team record, what they set at Illinois way back in 2022. So just over a year ago. Once again, topping what they had had before to set another program record on beam.
Yeah, they might as well do it on floor too. It's contagious. They're having an outstanding meet. Just the ball is rolling in the perfect direction for Michigan State, and floor is their event.
It's going to be a tough one on floor. They would have to top a 49.675 that they set against Western Michigan on March 5th of 2022. So they got some work to do, but they are closing in on that as we're going to step aside. Michigan State just setting records left and right as they celebrate beating co-Big Ten champs of the regular season. As you're watching gymnastics on Big Ten Plus.
Gymnasts, you may now begin your 4-minute touch warm-up period. Spartan fans, make sure you visit the Perfect 10.0 Club booth, located in the southeast corner of the field house, and get this year's official Spartan Gymnastics merchandise. All right, fans, it's time for the Buick Lucky Row of the meet. Make some noise and let's find out where the lucky winners are. Congratulations to tonight's lucky row of the meet. They are each receiving a Spartan helmet, courtesy of MSU FCU, a proud sponsor of MSU Athletics.
Into the future soundtrack, all the faster girls, sexy ladies that you like, 'cause we gotta be that band, we gotta be that pound, we gotta be that A, that now the way you move it, now me in the trays, DJ turn me up, ladies get so jaded, I'm the superstar, you know what I'm paying, I'ma throw this money while you do it with no
That concludes the final touch warm-up period. Judges, please take control of your events.
Welcome back to Jessen Fieldhouse. Michigan State is trying to chase history right now. They have a score of 148.725. LIU has a score of 147.100. Bowling Green with 146.975. But the real storyline has been Nikki Smith was perfect on vault with a 10. Jory Jackard broke the program record with a 10 on bars. And then Michigan State, just about every rotation so far, all three, they've broke the program record on each one. So it's just been a historic day for MSU so far, and they're trying to continue that on the floor. What are the keys for MSU here?
Definitely those landings, starting out here with Nia Smith. She'll start a front through due to a double tuck. Step forward just a little bit. You could tell she wanted that perfect stick. On the floor exercise, unlike the other events, you are allowed to take one step backwards when you are tumbling backwards, and you are allowed to take one step forward when you are tumbling forward. Although the floor does have springs under it, it is not the most bouncy thing. It's not like a trampoline, so it does kind of hurt to land on. So giving these gymnasts the ability to take a step back and redistribute that pressure on those legs is definitely important. Back 1.5 twist into that front layout. Looks like she missed the punch a little bit on that connection, but she was able to pull it off. Nia had a 9.925 at the meet this past Friday. Both of the Smith sisters are great at performing on floor. A double pike to finish it out. And definitely a great routine to start out these Spartans on the floor exercise. We'll get a look at one of these passes again. Her first pass, a front through into a double back. You could tell she was fighting for that stick, had to take that lunge. Back 1.5 into that front layout. Can see just a little bit off on that punch, but again, she was able to get that front layout around and play it off like nothing was wrong.
Like you talked about, just a legacy. Nia Smith and now Nikki Smith following up as well. Both from West Bloomfield, Michigan. Both went to North Farmington High School. The Smith sisters have really left their impact on Michigan State, and Nikki's still making it as well.
Definitely. It's so cool to be able to compete with your sister. Gymnastics is such a unique sport, and being able to bond over a sport like that is so special, especially Naya being a senior and Nikki a freshman. I'm sure Nikki looks up to Naya in a lot of ways, and it's super cool to have those sisters on the team.
And here's another freshman that's made an impact, Ellie Beaufait from Columbus, Michigan.
Haven't seen Ellie too much on the floor exercise or any events for that matter, but when she has competed, she's definitely shown up and she's proven herself to be in this lineup. Starting out there, she did a front double full. That is an E-rated tumbling pass, the hardest tumbling pass that you can do on the floor exercise. You do get bonus if you do those E passes on your score. One big thing about all of these lineups is that Coach Mike Rowe has so many gymnasts in his toolbox that he can put up that have 10.0 start values. Back 1.5 twists into a front layout, a little bit hesitant on that landing there. Could see she landed with a little bit of straight legs. Didn't know where she was too much in the air, but again, she pulled it off. Made it look like she wasn't that off. Another big difference between club and NCAA gymnastics is the floor routines. You really get to show your personality through these floor routines in college gymnastics versus club gymnastics. Finishing it out there with the Rudy, a great finish. Great routine for the freshman right there.
Nice work right there. Ellie also trained at Olympia Gymnastics Academy before coming to Michigan State. Another look at her routine.
There's that front double full, extremely difficult. That second pass there, a back 1.5 twist into a front layout. Again, a little bit funky on that landing, but overall still pretty solid.
Naya finished with a 9.850 to start on floor.
It's crazy to think that she could be disappointed in a score like that, but she did have a 9.925 last time out, and she knows she's capable of more.
And that's what we talked about, what makes this team special is because they're chasing greatness and perfection. And obviously they've already gotten twice today, but they want to continue to keep on doing that.
For sure. Still so much potential in this team. It's absolutely outstanding.
And Gianna Khalifi coming up on floor. She had a 9.9 on beam.
Gianna had a little bit of trouble on floor at the last meet, so we'll see how she can recover and come back from that. Saluting the judges here, starting out that routine. Again, floor is all about showing that personality, finding the dance moves that suit you right so you can be confident out there on the floor. Starting it out here, front double full. Great landing. As you can see, she did take that step forward, but that is allowed. The judges will not take off for that. Floor exercise takes a real toll on your endurance. While they might not look tired, it is a 1.5-minute long routine of nonstop moving and using your muscles. So it's really important that the gymnasts, when they choreograph these routines, that they give them some time throughout their routine to just breathe and catch their breath and let their legs rest.
And at what point do you what does it really hit you?
It definitely hits you right before the last pass. Your legs kind of feel like jello, but you have to find a way to pull it off. She'll do a Rudy here, a back layout, step out, just staying in bounds. That layout step out is crucial to Gianna's routine because that is her salto connection pass. Definitely much better than last time out. She loves it.
You can see her teammates are excited as well as her. She is happy with her performance right there. Another look at it.
There's that front double full. Spots the landing, spots Nicole Jones in the corner. Her second pass here. Now some gymnasts do 3 passes and some only do 2. If you can fulfill your requirements in 2 passes, then you only have to do 2. Just like Gianna did right there. That was a front 1.5 twist into a back layout step out.
And what can be the advantage? What can be the advantages to only doing 2?
Well, it's definitely not as tiring, especially if you have harder skills, harder passes at the beginning of your routine, and you only do 2 of those hard passes versus 3 harder passes, but not the hardest. Not having that third pass is crucial because that is where the most mistakes happen. That's where you're the most tired, and you really have to use muscles that you don't normally use to get those flips around and get those landings.
Here's Harkness at a 9.95 on bars and a 9.9 on beam. Just try to finish off her day with a good floor routine. Beaufet had a 9.8 on floor.
Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the judges to get scores, especially with a unique routine like Gianna. Gianna only does front tumbling passes, which you don't see too often, but some gymnasts are just better at front tumbling than they are back tumbling. Sometimes gymnasts are better at twisting than they are flipping. So it's really nice in gymnastics. You can have all those different skills to choose from and to try. But when you see those unique skills, sometimes the judges have to convene and talk about the code of conduct and how they're going to score those unique skills.
Which is currently what they're doing. Get a look at LIU on bars.
Looks like she hit her feet just a little bit on that low bar. That's definitely not the best feeling. The bar is really hard and it hurts when you kick that low bar. It's also a deduction. Like I mentioned before, standing there before routine, you really have to train your mind to think the right things.
Now it looks like Harkness is ready to go.
I love Delaney's routine. Her choreography is so unique. Fits her personality perfectly. Volunteer assistant coach Alina Cartwright does all of the choreography. Starting it out here with a full in. Beautiful landing. That's another one of those E-rated tumbling passes, the hardest tumbling pass that you can do in the NCAA. Get a little wink to the judges right there. Floor is also all about making eye contact with the people around you. You really want to engage everyone that's watching you perform. Just makes your routine 10 times better. Beautiful leaps right there. Great height, hitting those 180-degree leaps. Delaney also only does 2 passes. Her last pass here is a front through to a double tuck. See how she can handle this landing right here. Gearing up. Beautiful. Just that lunge backward, which she's allowed to do. Outstanding.
Another really good performance. Khalifi had a 9.875 on floor. Get another look at Harkness.
Delaney is so solid on this event. Makes it look easy, even though her skills are extremely difficult. Here's this last pass there. She does a front tuck, step out, through to a double back. Although I said that gymnasts can pick what skills and what tumbling they want to do, they are required to have a couple of things. They're required to have those leaps. They're required to have one front flipping or twisting skill and one back flipping or twisting skill. So as you saw there from Harkness's routine, she did that front tuck before she did that round off double back routine there, pass there. She had to have that front tuck to get that requirement.
Now Nikki Smith trying to finish off her day strong and all around.
Keep your eyes peeled for this one. This is such a fun routine. Another one of those gymnasts that makes it look easy. Going into this full in right there. She gets amazing height. The camera angle really just doesn't do it justice how high she is off of that floor. She's just having so much fun out there. Smiles all around. That's what gymnastics is all about. It's hard not to smile while watching her too. Her gymnastics is just so pretty and so fun. Second pass here, she'll do a round off 1.5 twist into a front layout. Gorgeous, so controlled. I love this part of her routine. She really just breaks it down and does what she knows how to do. That's dance. Just her final pass here, gearing up. A double back. Oh, she wanted that stick so bad, had to take that forward step, but overall an outstanding routine for the freshman, Nikki Smith. Just another one. She does it again and again.
Once again, Nikki Smith just absolutely killing it across the board. She has been the freshman to watch, and once again, doing it on floor this time.
Like I said, she really just makes it look easy, and it's not at all. The floor is not that bouncy. Like I said, it's not a trampoline.
And just to quickly recap Nikki's day, she had the perfect 10 to start on vault, which is the program record. Then she had the 9.95 on bars, and then a 9.925 on beam. So she's been putting in the work, and she's really been carrying her team as well.
Yeah, she's already a leader, and she's only a freshman. Just brings positive energy to this squad. I don't think one person on this team brings negative energy, but she's definitely one of those shining stars in the energy category in gymnastics.
And she is the future of this program as well for MSU, and she has really made a name for herself as well.
Definitely, and gymnastics is unique in that there's not really a pro gymnastics. So a lot of these girls, if they stay healthy, they will stay here for 4 years. So we get some more Nikki Smith gymnastics here.
Lots of that to come. Schulte about to go. She had a 9.925 on vault, and then she had the slip up on bars, but then really recovered on beam with the 9.925.
For sure. Skyla is so spunky. She's so happy. I'm sure she probably forgot about her bar routine already.
Probably.
Which is definitely the right mindset you like to have. Especially in college.
Yeah, I was going to say that. And also the fact that your team broke the program record on bars as well. So
for sure. Got some cheers here after seeing the score. We'll have to get that to you in a minute.
Looks like Nikki got a 9.9.
And here's Skyla Schulte. This is a fun routine as well. Starting it out here, another one of those E-tumbling passes, a full in. Wow. So controlled. Her chest was up on the landing. She just doesn't stop smiling. She literally is having so much fun out there. Beautiful leaps over 180 degrees there, showing off that flexibility once again. There she is grabbing those fans. Skyla only does 2 passes as well, so she just has 1 more pass to go. We'll see how she can handle this landing. So far, so good. Front through to a double tuck. Great landing there. She has so much power. It's so hard to contain. And that's Skyla Schulte for you right there. A beautiful floor routine there to end off the Spartans on floor. Hugs all around. Cheers.
What a way to end today for Michigan State as well. They're going to set a program record once we get Schulte's final score as well. Another look at her performance.
There was that tumbling pass right there. So difficult. That last pass, front through to a double tuck. Spots that landing. She has so much power. It's literally so hard for her to contain.
What a day for Michigan State. Let's start recapping it until we get the final score. But a 49.575 on vault, like we talked about. Nikki had the perfect 10. Then on bars, they broke the program record, 49.550. And when you thought it couldn't get any better, get a 49.6 on beam. Still waiting on that final score from Schulte, but nonetheless, it will break a program record for Michigan State, which we talked about earlier, but at Big 5 in Lincoln, Nebraska on February 25th, so it's only about a couple weeks old now. They scored 197.675, which is just mind-blowing. And like we talked about, before 2022, it was 197.075 set in 2004 that Michigan State held the record. As we await that final score, but you can see it was a pink meet here today. Spartan fans came out to celebrate their Michigan State squad, setting program records left and right. Just nonstop fun all the way around. Schulte finishes with a 9.925, so they get a 49.5 on floor. Bowling Green finishes with 196.2, and LIU had 196.1. So 198.225 is your new Michigan State program record for team overall score. You can see the expression on Coach Mike Rowe's face as he's hugging Nicole Jones right there. What a job this program has done, Abby.
It's insane, and I remember talking last year with you about how Coach Rowe wanted to break 197, and here they are, barely even a year later, and they just beat a 198, and not even just by a .025. They got a 198.225. That is a score that you'll see from the top schools in the entire nation right there. That is a score you want to see at nationals. It's outstanding.
We're going to step aside. When we come back, I'm going to talk to one of the gymnasts of Michigan State after the historic day that the Spartans had today. You're watching Gymnastics on Big Time Plus.
To the floor area for the award ceremony. today's awards is the daughter of Jan Howard and former Spartan gymnast Angela Monti and her daughters Sophia and Ava. And now our individual event winners this afternoon. On the vault, in tie for third place with a 9.9 from Michigan State, Gabby Stevens. Also with a 9.9 in third place from Bowling Green, Katrina Mendez of Bowling. In second place on the vault with a 9.925 from Michigan State, Skyla Schulte. And our vault champion today with a score of 10.0 from Michigan State, Nikki Smith. Congratulations to our vault champions this afternoon. Ladies, please salute. On the bars, there's a three-way tie for second place with a 9.950 from Michigan State University, Nikki Smith. Also with a 9.950 from Michigan State University, Delaney Harkness. Also with a 9.950 from Long Island University, Sid Morris. Our bar champion this afternoon with a score of 10.0 from Michigan State University, Joey Jackson. Congratulations, ladies. Please salute. On the beam, there's a three-way tie for second place with a 9.925 from Michigan State, Nikki Smith. Also with a 9.925 from Michigan State University, Skyla Schulte. Also in second place with a 9.925 from Long Island University, Ika Chu. Our beam champion today with a score of 9.950 from Michigan State University, Bailey Garcia. Congratulations to our beam champions this afternoon. Ladies, please salute. On the floor exercise in third place with a 9.9 from Michigan State University, Nikki Smith. In second place with a 9.925 from Michigan State University, Skyla Schulte. Our floor champion today with a 9.950 from Michigan State University, Delaney Harkness. Congratulations to our floor champions today. Ladies, please salute. In the all-around competition, in third place with a 39.275 from Bowling Green State University, Catherine Laubacher. In second place with a 39.550 from Long Island University, Sid Morris. Your all-around champion this afternoon with a 39.775 from Michigan State University, Nikki Smith. congratulations to our all-around champions. Ladies, please salute. In the team standing, in third place with 196.1, Long Island University. In second place with 196.2, Bowling Green State University. Our winner this afternoon with 198.225, Michigan State University. We'd like to thank Angela Monti and her daughters Sophia and Ava for joining us again this afternoon for the Jan Howard Memorial Breast Cancer Awareness Meet. Congratulations to all tonight's participants. A reminder to Spartan fans, please stay off the floor and do not congregate at the conclusion of the meet. Thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Jennison Fieldhouse after a historic gymnastics meet here for Michigan State. We have a lot of highlights here coming up for you. I'll send it down to Owen in just a moment. He will be talking with head coach Mike Rowe. Overall, Michigan State highlighted by that 198.225, a program record. Outstanding gymnastics here today. Michigan State had a sweep on all 4 events and the all-around, highlighted by that 10.0 vault. 10.0 bars from Jory Jackard, that 10.0 on vault from Nikki Smith. Bailey Garcia with that 995 on beam, winning the balance beam competition today. Along with the floor exercise, we have a 9.95 from Delaney Harkness, and then another program record shattered by Nikki Smith in the all-around with a 39.775. Some outstanding gymnastics here today for Michigan State and from all the teams here that were competing. Michigan State has another meet coming up this next Saturday. They will look to improve on this already amazing score and this amazing gymnastics that they had here today. There's Bailey Garcia once again highlighted there. All of these gymnasts performed outstanding today, and we will be looking forward to their next meet this coming Saturday. For all of us here at BTN Plus, I'm Abby Larson alongside my partner Owen Ozis. Thank you for watching Big Ten Gymnastics.
that you guys broke the program record for team score. You smashed it today with 198.225. What's going through your head right now after having the Big Ten regular season champions on right now and being able to just smash your record?
I'm almost speechless, other than the fact that everything that we've meant to do has been kind of falling into place. We broke 3 event records today, 1 event at a time, vault bars beam. We had 2 10s, which is a first for our program. We've been getting them on one side from one judge to the other a couple times. We had 995 on vault on Friday. So things have just kind of been evolving, adding something a little bit. So, you know, we just keep trying to up it a little bit. And I said we hadn't been here, we hadn't been home for a month now, so they haven't seen us, and we've missed our fans. So it was just like, let's have a show, let's play and show them what they've been missing. And wow, it was like kaboom. And just couldn't be more proud of the team, how hard they've been working and how they withstood this 4 meets in 8 days stretch that they were at the whole time. You know, we're a little bruised and sore, and we got to rest some people, alternate some people in, and it all worked. Praise the Lord that it all worked for us, and couldn't be happier. Now we're going to really try to relax and rest and nurse our wounds.
And it really did. Nikki Smith on the all-around was fantastic. Talk
Broke
about
the
her.
all-around record. Oh my God, I forgot that one. Skyla set the all-around record last year, and Nikki broke it by, I think, over a 10th today. So it was, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at them all because I'm sure I missed something. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
And then the 2 perfect 10s. What was your reaction when those happened? Did you know they were 10s?
Right. And Jory's we've seen coming for a while. There's a couple on bars that could hit or miss any day, and we've seen and thought, well, you understand where these half tenths or whatever it is that they're lacking. And then Nikki's the same kind of thing, you know, coming as a freshman to get that. She got 1 last week on one side, and we're like, okay, well, you got to get 1 before you get 2. And then here it happened today. So it was just, you know, like I said, everything is frosting, cherry on the top of the cake, whatever you could describe it, and still unbelievable to us because of how it's unfolding, and we're just so blessed.
What a day for your program. Thank you for your time, Coach. You've been watching gymnastics here on Big Ten Plus.